Minishoot Adventures. Or should that be Minishooter Adventures? I've never quite understood the apostrophe. Anyway, this game you may be slightly aware of. I've put up a couple of short videos, but I've really enjoyed it and I wanted to give it its own full review. So that's what's going to happen today. So I don't know, about a month or two ago now, this little game cropped up on Xbox Game Pass and I saw an article or two recommending it and I thought, why not, let's give it a chance. Now I didn't deem it worthy of streaming, which was foolish on my part, but I thought I need a chill game to play, not on stream and not with my friends, and this would be it, and we'll give it a chance. Now if you're anything like me, you look at the art style on the poster, the whole vibe of the game, you're thinking, it's a baby game. And it'll be one of those where a little kid could pick it up. It's mind-numbingly easy, mind-numbingly boring, and if you thought that, you're wrong. Now I imagine very few of you know this, but my favourite game is Hollow Knight, and I'll be making a lot of comparisons to it here. But essentially, imagine if you made Hollow Knight less stressful and a bit more small scale, and that is the perfect complementary description I could give of Minishooter Adventures. If I can recommend one thing about this game, it's that you still get really high highs, maybe not quite to the extremes of Hollow Knight, but almost as good, without ever reaching anywhere near the low lows. If you want some examples of this, if you fall off the map, it just resets you back onto the land, which was an absolute godsend to me. Some other examples would be once completing certain dungeons, or when you enter into a dungeon, you get sent to a checkpoint right at the start near the exit/entrance, which is so incredibly convenient. This was also apparent in some lovely quality of life features, the main one of which is when it came to upgrades on your ship, you could evolve or devolve to your convenience to make a build that suited you and the challenge that you were facing, which was so brilliant, and I only discovered this late on, so I imagine knowing that from early game could make the game even more of a chill ride. Okay, enough yapping about how chill it is. This game is filled with many elements of Metroidvanias, but takes away some key ones that I'll get onto, and also combines it with a much more bullet hell centric world and combat system, which is a really fun challenge, and if you're a fan of both the genres, it perfectly blends them together to make a gameplay experience that you will thoroughly enjoy. The story for this one is relatively simple, but still pretty engaging considering the game. So you spawn in as a little ship, you're stuck in some form of crystal, and you have to explore the world and rescue your friends who are in similar precarious situations while beating the evil bosses and unlocking the final gateway. This does have some extra lore behind it, but I won't go into that too deeply. There might be some footage later, but I'll mark that as spoilers. But yeah, I'll let you discover that on your own. But it is pretty well explained, even though it is quite simple. The settings that I played the game on made this a reasonably challenging and super fast paced combat. It was a game that I could pick up for a short 30-minute session, know exactly where I was, have a fun time and put it down, or also a game that I could get on for 3 hours as I played through a large section of the map, and both of these felt equally good. They also had some crazy out there moments which shocked me but really engaged me with the game, and I was just like, whoa, like the giant turtle that we just had, or one of the bosses here which is like a stingray type guy, and they just added some real depth to the game and some creativity. Now for some quick comparisons and contrastations to Hollow Knight, and I'm more than happy to be corrected here because it has been ages since I picked up Hollow Knight, so I might be wrong on some bits. My first one is how I mentioned the settings that I played on. This game is basically fully customizable to where you can make it very difficult for yourself, which I did finish the final boss on a very high difficulty, or you can greatly reduce the difficulty by having things like auto aim and complete invincibility, and the game will still let you get the achievement. So you can fully customize this to be sort of the difficult experience that you want, whereas Hollow Knight was just straight up hard. Another noticeable difference, I thought the map was really easy to navigate compared to typical Metroidvania where you're getting lost as part of the gameplay. I thought this was really simple, and a lot of gamers who don't enjoy that about Metroidvanias would really like this here. One of the issues that could possibly be raised is the customization in Hollow Knight's combat. You can use different charm builds and spells and specials to sort of fight the bosses how you would like to. That's sort of lost a little bit here, just because of the fact of how the bullet hell mechanics sort of work with the shooting. There's only a couple different bits that you can do. But yeah, I still think it's a great combat system, just a slight bit less variance than Hollow Knight has. And then some of the other differences I've mentioned already, but it's just a lot kinder to you here when you mess up, whereas Hollow Knight would send you back to a bench a million miles away from your boss fight or where you've died. This doesn't bother too much about that, and it makes for a lot more calm, easy ride of an experience. Finally guys, I'm just going to talk you through a couple bits that I sort of had issues with in progressing for the game. So there is a charm you can buy that shows you everything that you need to do, so I recommend getting that. If ever you find yourself stuck, save up enough big red rubies to buy that one. And then just some other points to note is, like, if you've discovered something and it's sort of giving you a hint towards what you might need to do, make sure you've fully explored around that area and done those bits. And then also make sure that you are checking every single little aspect of the map, like going around the edges where there's bushes, looking for breakable rocks and things like that, and that will really help you out for discovering new areas. And my final one is making sure you remember areas that you couldn't access in the past when you get your new abilities. So I know there was one bit that I was stuck on for a while because it's on the complete opposite side of the map to where you think you need to go. Just a bit of a hint for you there guys. Obviously let me know if you want me to specifically plot out those areas and I'll do another video for that. But yeah, and I think the final thing that I just wanted to do in this review was to give some ideas of the abilities that you can unlock. So this might be spoilers and there might be spoiler gameplay now from now on, just so you're aware if you want to skip off from now towards the end of the video. But yeah, so the abilities that you can unlock the ability to go on the water, which you can already see here. You unlock a little dash across gaps. You can unlock a speed boost sort of fly. You can unlock a time slowing down mechanic, and then as you get towards later game you can unlock an invincibility dash that will help you with the tree, and also in terms of unlocking the tree you'll have already seen the clip, but there's a robot that you find that will sing a little song to wake him up. I believe that's the only time that's used, but yeah. And those are sort of the abilities that you're aiming towards guys. There's also blue shots that will let you break cracked surfaces, which is helpful. And yeah, that's about everything guys that I have to say. This was a real fun ride for me, and I'm thinking I'm going to give this one an 8.5 out of 10. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and please subscribe. catch you in the next one. Bye guys.